welcome back. Back in the lab again. That's why I kept joking about that. So, like, literally, yes. I actually forgot that that she had used, like, her own material to produce Red, too, for that matter. I was just joking, because I thought it was kind of funny that Red is, like, an ex-orphan now. But I remembered after the last recording session, oh yeah, wait a minute. She actually is, like, biologically Red's mother, in a sense. Okay, so I can just sick giant world-destroying monsters on things now? Or, I guess, prevent that from happening. It'll just inject my greatest fear into me again. Nice. Oh yeah, sure. I guess we got a little preview of this mechanic in the last fight. Yes, so there are other things you can do. So you can generate projectiles now. You don't need to throw things. So again, gameplay gets a bit more interesting. And I protected myself with the robot. Or mech if you prefer. It's not really autonomous in any sense.
Bonne chance.
How's that for world building? Like I've said a few times now, it's the second half that gets me real interested. Still have some scenes from the first half, but it's the second half story that really, I think, is engaging. The first half story is kind of cliche, if anything. Just like, okay, you need to get artifacts to save the world or whatever, because there's a giant monster and someone who wants to control it. This one's a bit more distinctive. Ah, Mao! I forgot about Mao. I don't remember it being the most fun gameplay-wise, but it's a cool place. Like, setting-wise. Okay, I figured they would have localized the name of that a little bit more from Japanese, but sure. This is a flashback from like 2 minutes ago, game. Come on. You don't need the sepia and everything. This wasn't in the olden days.
Bonne chance. Sapristi. Bonne chance.
Weird place for a flashback, but sure. I like how you actually see Red's expression as his phone rings. Or whatever equivalent communicator. Oh, okay, that was fast.
Sapristi.
Ah! Phone won't stop ringing. Uh-huh. Absolutely. I have nothing else to do with my money. Alright. Let's take a look at that. Because again, so finally the game starts leaning a bit towards letting you develop your own play styles. Of course, you have other places to go first. Eventually we'll go to Mao. Mao's a cool place. But first... So this was just usual parts. PS if you prefer. So I believe right now the only difference between the old Dahak and the new one is those 2 new throws we can do. Yes. And now there's an even... So, is this the one that I think it is? I don't have money to spend on anything else, so... Wish they gave you a little bit more explanation of this, but I believe I know what this thing... Whoop. I believe I know. Oh, so it actually has different, so this even has different attacks, too, like in the air and whatnot. That's very interesting. So I don't know if you can switch this whenever you want or what. Oh, here we go. Tap A to increase combo damage. Not clear on that. Oh yeah, you don't have to mash anymore. Thank God. Yeah, also, dash is way better on this thing. Oh. Look at this. This is so much better. Yeah, so for someone like me who's constantly dashing around, this is fantastic. It does take more damage, but... And it might be faster to move around, I'm not sure. Is there much we want to do with our... Oh. With parts right now? I do have 30 points to spend. Oh yeah, see, I got an extra plus 10 mobility out of nowhere. I don't remember how many types of fuselage there are. I don't think there are that many, actually. In fact, I only remember one other one. I think it's more power-oriented, I don't remember. Maybe like slower and stronger or something. But, I might like to... I actually did notice taking a moment to pick up those shards in the last fight. So it might actually be time to try to increase my stats a little bit more again. The tricky part is, I don't know if I really have anything great I can do. Actually, hold on. How much did these square parts give me? 10. That's amazing. Also, can you sort of hit walls this way? Oh, it doesn't bonk! Oh, that's amazing. It's even better. Yeah, that thing is fantastic. I've been waiting for that the whole game. It's also why I came out here into the shops when I first got on the Golden Roar earlier on in the game. So that's 18. 36, oh jeez. So that's 2 by 3 plus another 1. I have space for that? I want to make that thing work somehow, so I think I'll buy it regardless. $8,000, jeez. But hey, it's something to do with that for once. To do with that money. Okay. Yeah, there are a few ways we could approach this. Oh. I kind of like that. Also, just to make sure I'm making a fair comparison. What should I have before? Be this plus 10, so I had 42 before, right? Yes, I had 42. So those three together were 30. And then this thing, on its lonesome, is already 36. So that's already a small boost. Curious if there's some better place I could put this. I wonder if I can move this slightly. I could pay 3 for these two, but I still have another 5 to get rid of this here. So I think I put this here. I have this move to the right. I move this down. I have a square open here, for instance. So right now, I don't know as much I can do with that one bit there. So I can get 8 between. Yeah, that's not much extra I can get. But I can't afford... I can't open up enough to do anything useful here right now, I don't think. I could open this up. I could open both of these up. Get another 7 from that. And a 5. I might do that. I might... I'd only be buying myself one more space if I got both of these. I can put down a 1, which is... my plus 1's useless at this point, so I think I'll just buy this 1 here. And put down an L piece. Plus 60. It's a pretty respectable increase. It's like a 50% increase in hydraulics, I won't complain. And then with a little bit more in the way of P crystals, I can expand just a little bit more. And get rid of these two, which together only give me 12. I can move just a little bit. Yeah, get 5 more, I can move this thing to the right. Actually, no. I have to buy this one too. Never mind. Nah, that's a lot more to pay. 30. I need for these two, and then this just I need 35. I need 20 more. But anyhow. Thinking about things. I think I'm okay for now. Alright. So in that case, just for the sake of doing something this episode instead of just staring at stat stuff, dual ship stuff is usually fast. Less interesting, I admit, but I want to have a proper episode for doing stuff in Bassett, so... I don't think the dialogue ever changes here. Yeah. So in a certain sense, I'm no longer strictly hydraulics, since I do have a stat increase in other stuff, but at the same time, it's not for my parts, so... I mean, even harsher. I've already had never take damage and stuff like that. So I do need to figure out what my special abilities are with this version of the Hawk. I feel like they should have spread out the increases in customization to the Hawk and whatnot. Oh, okay, fine. I feel like they should have spread that out a bit more throughout the game, because right now we get suddenly gameplay opens up wide at this one point in the game over halfway through. Like, okay. It's legitimately more interesting now, but I would prefer to have a slower trickle of this stuff throughout the first half of the game, and leading into the second half too. Instead of having kind of oversimplified gameplay for the entire first half of the game. Okay. Don't jump. Versus generic Kerbaz. You know what, I don't know if I'm allowed to dash. So I have to... Is the idea that I have to button mash? I think I have to mash as I throw to get maximum damage out of it. It sounded to me like it was more like you had to press the button to a rhythm, but no, I think you have to mash it. I figured. Come after round one. Okay, so don't walk straight into the fire this time. Fair enough. Let me check real quick though. Oh no, just keep tapping it. I like how I say tap instead of mash, because mash is what it is in reality. But oh yeah. Okay, so you don't have different abilities in the air and on the ground. They're both the same thing. But yeah, I forgot you have a different hover too.
Oui.
So I think you just don't have to button mash to hover anymore. Yeah, and then, like usual, you fall down a little bit. Also, for some reason, I can do trance now. Sure, why not? Just need to be careful of that fire there. And I will have to show off the projectiles in trance at some point, too. Yeah, okay, fine. Oh, that seems really annoying, actually. Okay.
Oui.
On this guy, too? This guy makes me wish I actually had some stats and damage. Although I do extra damage by mashing the button. I might be able to shoot two-shot this guy instead of three now. I figured the third one would talk about having being had their machine put together by Opera or something like that. Okay. No, not quite. Okay. Oh well. Okay, I'm allowed to dash. I wasn't sure. I was not pressing those buttons, thank you. I think I accidentally, I think my controller got silly for a second there. And thought I pressed triggers. It doesn't usually ghost press triggers, it usually ghost presses face buttons, but oh well. Nope. No, well, at least there's a reference to her this time, since all the other curve were mentioned. Friendly competition. Okay, cool. So that will be it for this episode then. Recuperates on the cost of all the work on our mech lately. Alright, cool. Bye everyone.